Gerry Turner, the charming widower who captured hearts as the inaugural lead of The Golden Bachelor, has finally opened up about the highs, lows, and unexpected heartbreaks that defined his journey from grief-stricken retiree to reality TV star and back again. In his candid memoir, Golden Years: What I've Learned from Love, Loss, and Reality TV, released in late 2025, Turner peels back the layers of his life with a raw honesty that feels both intimate and universally relatable. At 74 years old, the Indiana native doesn't just recount the glamorous moments of his televised quest for love. He confronts the painful truths about his brief marriage to Theresa Nist, the lingering shadows of his late wife's hidden health struggles, and the profound lessons etched into his soul by a process designed for drama but often blind to deeper human complexities. Turner's story begins not on the sun-drenched sets of the Bachelor mansion but in the quiet, aching aftermath of losing his high school sweetheart and wife of 43 years, Toni. Their love was the stuff of enduring legends, a partnership forged in youth, tested through decades of raising daughters Jenny Young and Angie Warner, and culminating in a dream retirement by a serene Indiana lakefront home. But tragedy struck mere weeks after they unpacked their boxes in 2017. Toni succumbed to a sudden bacterial infection, leaving Turner shattered and adrift in a world that suddenly felt too vast and too empty without her. What makes this loss even more poignant, as Turner reveals in the memoir, is the shocking post-mortem discovery that Toni had been privately battling type 2 diabetes for some time. "My mind reeled with what-ifs," he writes, his words dripping with a mix of regret and unresolved grief. He questions whether her stoic refusal to whine about health issues, a trait he now wonders if he inadvertently reinforced, contributed to her untimely decline. The untreated condition, he learns, had likely strained her kidneys, turning what should have been golden years into a silent thief of vitality. This revelation isn't just a personal bombshell, it's a window into the quiet burdens many long-term couples carry, where love's intimacy doesn't always extend to vulnerability about illness. Turner grapples with guilt. Had he missed the signs? Could better communication have changed the outcome? In a touching detail, he describes hanging a glamorous photo of Toni in his new home's walk-in closet, a daily ritual that greets him each morning like a gentle whisper from the past. It's a small act of defiance against erasure, a way to keep her spirit woven into the fabric of his evolving life. Yet even in mourning, Turner found himself navigating the awkward terrain of new connections. He admits to a fleeting post-loss romance with a woman he met at Toni's funeral receiving line, a detail that sparked tabloid frenzy when it surfaced during his Golden Bachelor stint. "We had a connection," he concedes, but reflects on how grief-fueled haste led him to pursue it too aggressively. Dating for the first time since he was 18, Turner likens it to stepping into a foreign land without a map, underscoring the memoir's central theme, the disorienting dance between honoring the past and embracing the uncertain future. As Turner transitions into the whirlwind of The Golden Bachelor, the memoir transforms into a behind-the-scenes chronicle that's equal parts nostalgic and cautionary. Filming in the fall of 2023, he arrived with an open heart, hoping to rewrite his narrative after years of solitary reflection. The show's format, roses, fantasy suites, and heartfelt one-on-ones, offered a structured path to possibility, but Turner quickly learned its limitations. One of the most gut-wrenching moments he shares is Joan Vasso's early exit, prompted by her daughter's postpartum challenges. Though he respects her maternal instincts, Turner confesses, "I'd be lying if I said I wasn't crushed. Here was a woman I really thought could be the one." Their chemistry had sparked immediate fireworks, and her departure left a void that echoed his deeper fears of impermanence. Months later, when Vasso sent him an Annie Leibovitz coffee table book he'd admired during their date, a flicker of hope reignited. Visiting her during his rose ceremony rounds, he felt a bittersweet pull, a small piece of his heart still tethered to what might have been. This anecdote humanizes the show's often glossed-over emotional undercurrents, reminding readers that real bonds form amid the scripted spectacle, only to fray under life's unyielding pressures. The memoir's emotional core, however, lies in Turner's deliberations over the women who made it furthest: Faith Martin, Leslie Fima, Ellen Goltzer, and ultimately Theresa Nist. Sending Ellen home proved the most torturous, a soul-crushing decision, amid sleep-deprived nights and mounting deadlines. Both she and Theresa embodied positivity without red flags, yet chemistry, the elusive spark of romance, tilted the scales. "I couldn't give a better reason than a sense that we didn't have the chemistry necessary," Turner explains, his words laced with empathy for the pain he inflicted. With Leslie, excitement abounded, but doubts crept in about her 2 prior divorces, which he initially read as potential commitment red flags. In hindsight, he owns this as his own Gerry problem of confidence, a self-aware pivot that adds depth to his character. Regret shadows his declarations of love to both Leslie and Faith during hometown dates. Sincere in the moment, they now feel like unfaithful echoes. To truly love someone, you must give yourself completely to that person alone, he muses, carrying that burden as a lifelong lesson in emotional fidelity. Theresa Nist emerges as the memoir's most complex figure, a safe and familiar choice that bloomed into a thorny reality. Their shared histories of long, devoted marriages, hers to Billy, who passed in 2014 after 42 years, and family-centric values created an instant bridge. In the fantasy suites, her vision of retirement and adventure aligned perfectly with Turner's wanderlust, convincing him she'd become the partner he couldn't live without. Yet, cracks appeared almost immediately post-engagement. Nightly calls grew strained, her conversational tone unchanging whether discussing work woes or simple joys. A clandestine New York getaway exposed dietary divides, her strict, sugar-free regimen of fish and salads clashing with his heartier preferences. These seemingly minor incompatibilities ballooned, her reversal on retirement plans citing a need to bolster her savings, her aversion to his rural Indiana life, "There is just no way I could live here. It is so isolated," and escalating home-hunting frustrations, where her tastes veered toward multimillion-dollar estates far beyond his budget. Turner doesn't shy from the prenup drama, a non-negotiable born from his mediation experience with divorcing couples. Days of silence after sending the documents sparked paranoia. "I began to worry she was going to run out the clock," culminating in a signing that still left him with the worst case of cold feet. Doubts crescendoed toward their January 2024 wedding, where rehearsal dinner confessions to Faith laid bare his entrapment. "Going through with this wedding is the wrong thing to do. I'm completely trapped." Faith's pointed challenge.